Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another briefing. My name's Anthony. I am the host and founder of Puget Sound Stormwatch on Facebook and YouTube. We're currently watching this upper level ridge developing over the region that could be shoved out by this developing upper level low near Northern California, Southwest Oregon. We're going to be jumping into things right away today. So this is the day one convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. This storm contour was a little bit north yesterday. They have pushed it back south, so it's really only for parts of western Oregon, the Oregon Cascades, and portions of eastern Oregon southward. As we go on to day two, they made some critical changes to this forecast, and they've included most of western Washington, parts of eastern Washington, and all of the Washington Cascades in the day two thunderstorm outlook. And then as we go into day three, same thing, except a little bit less of eastern Washington, and now the entirety of western Washington, the entirety of western Oregon, and most of the desert southwest is included in this general day 3 thunderstorm outlook. In addition, since yesterday, the air quality near the surface has vastly deteriorated. It's mostly unhealthy for hazardous groups, but a lot of unhealthy around the area. See, the red is vastly unhealthy. Purple and darker colors are hazardous. Almost 900 micrograms per cubic meter of particulate matter north of Ross Lake with that fire burning right now. See, a lot of fires burning here in eastern Washington. Terrible air quality over here, but we're starting to rapidly drop off here, especially around the South Sound areas of downtown Seattle, Seattle Metro, Victoria, BC area, and Bellingham in vicinity. And really hazardous for Vancouver as well. Now we go look at the visible satellite imagery courtesy of windy.com. You can see all of these fire startups here clear as day, including the Emigrant Fire in Western Oregon, Wildcat Fire near Chinook Pass, and of course the Bear Gulch Fire in Mason County. And this is just socking the Columbia River Basin in with low-level smoke. A lot of this due to the high pressure over us right now. This high pressure promotes sinking motion, which keeps the air from rising and mixing. So it's keeping a sock over us as well, allowing a lot of this fire smoke to build up and mix down towards the surface, west of the Cascades. And also to the south, you have this low-level spin associated with another area of upper-level troughing that continues to move north towards northwest Oregon and western Washington. This could give the mountains and surrounding areas a risk of isolated dry thunderstorms as it moves north. Now it's time to go look at some weather models. So as usual, we have our European deterministic model here. This is showing lightning flash rate for a 6-hour average. So starting out, this is Friday 11 p.m. to Saturday 5 a.m. Now, this activity is going to become much more widespread as our next impulse begins to slide north. See a lot of widespread lightning activity for northeastern Oregon, the Washington Cascades, part of northeast Washington, as well as the Olympics, and a couple of these little drifters coming through in the lowlands too. And then the next frame is really, really interesting to see this solution. This is between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. Saturday, showing abundant lightning strikes off the coast as well as in southwest Washington and northwest Oregon. See even some isolated activity as we go into the evening hours and the early morning hours of Sunday. Then this activity will continue to diminish until there's nothing left and this impulse moves out of the region. Looking at things a little closer now, this is most unstable parcel CAPE, or convective available potential energy. It's the measure of instability in the atmosphere above the ground. And there's plenty of this to spare as this storm complex comes through. See values well over 1,000 for some areas of the South Sound and substantially higher in the higher terrains. Then we look at the K index, which is a measure of thunderstorm potential given several conditions. More than favorable conditions as we go into the early morning hours Sunday and late evening hours of Saturday. The precipitable water anomalies show this extra area of monsoonal moisture working its way north out of Oregon at the time we have this shortwave impulse really start to drag things out of the desert southwest. So we will have more than sufficient moisture, especially over the Cascades, as this shortwave moves in and gives us a widespread thunderstorm chance during this time period. And once again, with the elevated nature of this threat, just like last time in the last week or so, the chance of seeing widespread heavy showers is minimal. Most of this will stay to the higher terrains or anywhere where we can get heavy shower activity. So this is going into Sunday afternoon now. See a lot of areas of isolated heavier showers, possible thunderstorms, mostly confined to the coast and higher terrain. And as we go past the fantasy period, as I like to call it, because this should be taken with a grain of salt. It still doesn't show very much rain for the lowlands. Most of it stays to the higher terrains. So if we can get anywhere near this amount for the mountains, then we will be hunky-dory going into mid-September. So far, I'm not seeing much on the NAM 3KM. This is the 12Z, so the 5 a.m. run today. It shows this complex of showers moving through Portland. This is around 9 p.m. today. And it starts to gradually slide north a little bit, possibly giving the Olympia area and vicinity some light showers if this precip even makes it towards the ground. This is 11 a.m. tomorrow, and it doesn't have much of this activity making it north of Tacoma. And a possible second round coming out of the Central Oregon Cascades around 5 p.m. Friday, but this is where the model cuts off. Now, I'm waiting for the 18Z to run. This is the 11 a.m. model, so we don't quite have the extent of this event in the model run's coverage quite yet. The fully initialized 18Z HER 3KM has a similar story to the NAM 3KM. It's a strong area of showers moving through sometime this afternoon in Portland, and possibly swirling back around, moving up to Olympia. So, pretty good model agreement there so far between my two preferred cam models. And then same ordeal here, albeit maybe a little bit earlier on the second round, moving up through Portland. And I'll be waiting for another one of these runs to come out later this afternoon, because this could have some of this activity moving a little bit northward and intensifying. Looking at the elevated fire smoke forecast, and it is ridiculous up here. Lots of smoke plumes well above the surface, thankfully. However, a lot of this is going to continue to mix down towards the surface. And due to the relatively dry nature, again, of these troughs coming in, we still have no sign of that Pacific storm train starting up, so we will be stuck with a lot of this elevated fire smoke for some time, possibly as late as October or November, even later than that. Switching to near-surface smoke density, and the story is even more dire for eastern Washington. Areas near the Wildcat Fire, even isolated areas around the Bear Gulch Fire. And all these surrounding fires up here in northeast Washington are just going to keep a chokehold on all of these areas east of the Cascades. Like even some areas of the foothills of the Cascades near some of these fires up here and have relatively smoky conditions and continuously deteriorating air quality. So unfortunately, until the Pacific Northwest storm train starts back up, which I don't see any indication of that happening in the next couple of weeks at least. Although we do have some forecasters showing above normal precipitation for this area, which would be highly beneficial. So with all that being said, we will continue to watch these incoming shortwave impulses closely and their effect on the upper level fire smoke, as well as the chance of isolated dry thunderstorms over the next few days. I do intend to stream either on YouTube or Facebook, preferably YouTube now, because I want to continue to build my YouTube audience. We're closing in on 400 subs here very soon, so thank you guys for continuing to subscribe and share the videos. Video quality should continue to improve over time as I integrate more elements into these briefings. So thank you guys again for your patience. This is Anthony with Puget Sound Stormwatch on Facebook and YouTube, here for another briefing, saying see you guys for the next one.